Hello again. Thanks for getting it out this far. So in this clip, we're going to look at the utilization matters idea. We've examined the base case and we've discovered that, there's no guarantee even that we're going to make 4 surgeries in each track, and our wait times are pretty long. We also discovered that, all of the folks operating here, the anesthesiology pools are under the most pressure. They're essentially at like 99 to 100% utilization. Other than just that 5-minute registration at the start of the day, the anesthesiologists are just run off their feet. So the idea is going to be to try and add some talent to the anesthesiology Pro A pool and Pro B pool. This could be hiring a CRNA, maybe an anesthesiology assistant. Exactly what would be possible would have to comply with the requirements in the state or perhaps the country where Hipkins is located. So what is the idea here? It is to be able to start the sedation while or have the consent process and that sedation process start while the previous patient is completing surgery. Of course, you physically start the sedation just at the time the surgery is finishing, so that the next patient is not unnecessarily sedated, but at least the consent process and the preoperative prep and all that can be in place, so that the following patient is ready to go. And having another pro available there allows you to do the anesthesiology, to do the sedation piece simultaneously with the end of the surgery. So to get this to go, all we're going to do is just to go into our parameters and then change the number of pros in each room. So I just go to simulation main and then just scroll up to where my parameters are. And I'm just going to change the number of pros in both tracks. It seems to do a little update there. So let's just do that. And I think that's it. Now, you're going to have to be careful about replications here and then documenting. And to establish dominance of, let's say, this scenario over the base case is going to come down to providing enough evidence. So again, replications. So let's run this. You'd have to document the flow times, the number of surgeries, and so forth. Okay, so here we go. Let's just confirm that we do have 2 anesthesiologists in each track. There they are. Okay, this parameter block is convenient. And here we go. And I want to run this one a little, I want to run it slow initially. I'm just going to run it at 5 times the speed. So the anesthesiology pro is now sedating the first patient. Here the surgery is started. You can see that the utilization on the surgeon is starting to spike. Okay. And notice that, the anesthesiology pros have much lower utilization. Okay, so now that was where the second anesthesiology started the sedation of the next patient. Okay. And now anesthesiology is dropping because the second patient has started surgery, and so we don't need to anesthesiology. Okay, so in here, the third patient has started sedation. All right, so what's happened now is our addition of a CRNA or an anesthesiology assistant to these 2 tracks. They're dedicated, so there's now 2 pros in A and 2 pros in B, has dropped the utilization drastically from about 100% down into the 70s. And now the surgeons are the most utilized. Now, one of the problems with this workflow is that there's history between patient and surgeon. So it's not clear that you can add additional surgeons here. There's limitations on that. It's also probably not going to be possible to pool the surgeons so that you don't care which patient the surgeon works on. Again, because there's a consult and history between patient and surgeon. So I'm going to run this one to completion now. We're at, let's see, we're at 4:51, so I don't want to waste too much time here. So we do get a run, and then I'm going to just run this to completion. All right, so now I got 5 surgeries in both tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at 160 average here, 150 average day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems like as I go through the day, the flow times get longer and longer because there's more of a log jam ahead of the folks who come in, third, fourth, and fifth in the day. Let's do one more of these just to get a sense if this is, just some weird result. Just go down and change my random C just to whatever other number. What are we going to do? 2024, how's it? And run it again. And this time I'll just run it fast. Okay, so these graphs are a little deceptive. Note there's a double completion here at about 140 minutes. So there's actually 5 completions here, 5 here also. There's a double bar here. What are we noticing? Anesthesiology is a little lower, but it's starting to get up there. The ERs are at 70-80%. The anesthesiology folks are at 70-80%. And the surgeons are now into the mid-90s. So whether you can add any additional, it doesn't make any sense to add registrars. They're only at 6%, and EVS pool are only at 13%. Does it make sense to add ORs? Probably not, because there's only one surgeon, right? So it doesn't help to have 2 sedations waiting to go. Right? It doesn't make any medical sense. So whether we can push this any further is something for you to deliberate on. Okay, so that is the utilization, an innovation using the utilization matters lens. Just before we go, just notice that these flow times are 144 and 167 on average, and they are longer than the 90-minute interarrival time. So that's a question that we're going to address in one of our scenarios.